You have to decide what it is your bus looks like. Because there is, what's your name? Rick and I got certified on the very same day 15 years ago. Although Rick's a lot younger than me. I came to it later in life. Right? Okay? Alright? Don't, just pretend you are a lot younger. I have a hard life, right? What are the chances when we come back together 15 years later, having been off at various different clubs, doing different things, that we're on the same page after 2 days of training and certification? 0. Right? It's not a fault of the problem, because you're still, we're not saying that Rick's not a great coach, or I'm not a great coach, but we're just speaking two different languages. And that has to be one of the things you have to try and address. We're just talking on this table over here. Just my thing would always be, okay, we're going to do a training once a month, say like first Monday of every month. All the pros are going to come together. We're going to determine what the topic is. How we develop rallying skills for red and orange kids. Right? What drills and skills we're going to do. Everyone must bring at least 2 or 3 ideas. At the end of it, we're all going to agree what it is we're going to do. And we're going to chip away a little bit at a time like that. Oh, and by the way, next training, Rick's leading. Not me as a tennis director. And the one after, the month after, is Jesse's leading. Yeah? So now Jesse's watching Rick's presentation and he's going, yeah, good job, good job, good job. Because he's going, I'm presenting next month, and if I give him a hard time, he's going to give me a hard time in reverse. So in other words, try and make all of your trainings bottom up, not top down. Because I've stood here enough, looking at faces and going, I think they're listening, but I could be singing in Russian right now. Yeah, it may not be going in whatsoever. Yeah, in fact, I was in Russia once, and no one said anything for two and a half days, and then a woman stood up and she went, are you saying da, 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 long list of things? And I went, yes. Turned around, spoke to the Russian coaches who were sat there in nice orderly rows, right? And big conversation goes on. She turns back, we agree, you can continue. Look, here's some examples. Like, so this is case study 1. Right? This is a club. They went, okay, you're getting these slides, don't forget, right? Big focus on tactics, smart kids, smart tennis environment. Everything needs to be tennis specific. Athletic training. Kids must play lots of other sports in the club. They're not sending the kids out. They're going, we're going to play basketball next week as part of our training. We're going to play soccer. We're going to do things on a court or on a side court or outside something. Yeah, lots of emphasis on discipline. This is an interesting one. This is actually the stuff we put together for sport time and McEnroe clubs. The emphasis on discipline in McEnroe clubs is huge. Honestly, if you dink your racket twice, you're off the court. If you don't pick the balls up, right, you're gone. Right? If you leave a ball at the net, the pro's on your cage straight away. It's like, yeah, it's like boot camp. Right, this one, lots of playful learning. Form follows function. Do you know what that means? It means everything technically has to follow something tactically. Lots of differential learning. That means you do opposites. Opposites, lots of good, really good practice for developing things. You want to learn top spin, practice top spin, top spin, top spin, slice, slice, slice. Your brain becomes way more engaged and you learn faster. When you're a little kid, repetition is not the mother of all learning. Believe it or not. Okay? That's Midtown. That's Butch Staples' club, because that's the way Butch feels about tennis. Yeah? Strong emphasis on technical conformity, teaching through technical progressions. Only low-key festival-style competitions take away the pressure on a lot of the kids as they develop. Yeah? And lots of physical development in their program. That was Lendl's clubs. So you can see each one of these clubs, they're all doing red, orange, green. But the way they shape their program reflects a little bit more about what they believe and what they really want to do. Okay, and that's just an example of what different buses could look like. Alright? Okay, there's a whole lot of other things you might have decided to do. There's lots of different models on instruction. Do you allow kids to just play on the day? Do you have courses like, okay, we're going to do 12 weeks, sign up here? Do you have groups? Do you have squads? Now, one of the things I try and do is, very quickly in every program, I don't have sign-up sheets that people could just walk up to reception and fill out. Like my last club, I had 250 kids under 10. They were all on an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, after 12 weeks, I knew where every single kid I wanted them to be and what nights I wanted them to come. I sent an individualized letter to every single parent saying, please can you bring little Johnny to this group at this time? We've selected him to be in that group with these kids. Now, it seems like a lot of hard work until you realize 12 weeks after that, I don't have to change very much. And now I've got groups that are mostly homogenous, they're the same level of player within the group, and also the kids have been specially chosen to be in a particular group that's exactly right for them. Yeah? So we try and move towards that rather than, here's our red class list. Tuesday, Thursday and Friday, oh hell, I've got that kid in that group, I really don't want him in that group. And sometimes we do it even on personalities, and sometimes we do it on gender. With girls, it's never an odd number, except one. If you have a group of 6, you can have 1 girl and 5 boys, or 2 girls and 4 boys, or 4 girls and 2 boys, or 6 girls. But you never have 3 girls and you never have 5 girls. How do you make sure that doesn't happen? Girls, you know all the male coaches who are going, what the hell is he talking about? All the female coaches who are going, yeah, we get that. We totally get that. Spend lunchtime, if you don't know the reason I just said that, spend lunchtime connecting with the female coaches in the room. They know a hell of a lot more than you think they know. And they certainly know a lot more about girls, teaching girls, than they even know that they know. And we still have a problem keeping girls in tennis. Okay? Okay, so that's one of the things to think about. Do you select kids and put them in groups? It takes a long time the first time you did it. It took you 2 days to get those 250 letters out and get all the kids in the right groups. But now I'm delivering a level of customer care. Now I'm delivering a level of service. And when a new kid comes up, what does he get? When a new kid comes to join the program, he gets a little induction. I take him on the court. I find out what level he should be, and I say to him, you can come to this group or this group. I haven't got space for you. Which is what other people are afraid of. But I'll say this to you. If Rafa Nadal comes to your club tomorrow and says, hello, I want to join the program, right? You have not got a place for him. It doesn't matter how good you think you are, you have not got a group that Rafa can regularly train with. Right? So what makes you think you've got a group for everybody else? That 13-year-old beginner boy who's taking individual lessons because he's embarrassed that he's not very good. And when he gets to the right level, then he can go in. You have to do that sometimes. And that's a very good reason. Like, okay, I've got 4 girls. 3 of them I know are going to graduate at Christmas. Ready up to the next group. 1 girl's not. 7 weeks out, I phone up mum and say, little Katie's not going to be going up with her friends unless we get some private lessons in. How many times does mum say, thank you so much for calling? Yes, let's get those private lessons that I really want to keep her with every single time. You can't do that, you've just got a blank sheet of paper. Sign up for the orange group, Tuesday at 5. It doesn't work like that. Okay? So that's really important for us to understand. Other things we could do, I think there's still a room for some clinics. You can use some of the stuff we'll do this afternoon for clinics as well. There are other models out there. Like I work with one program, 1 coach, 48 kids, 8 assistants. High schools. Does it a big gymnasium? All the kids turn up. He has 9 drills. And he'll go, right, okay, you run drill number 4 today, you're going to run drill number 6 today, you'll run drill number 1, you'll run drill number 4, oh sorry, who usually is 4, 5, right? And then the kids rotate round after a period. He makes some really good players. He just literally walks around like he's Nick Bollettieri and fixes things. Doesn't feed a single ball the whole time. It's one of the best organised programs I've ever seen. How much do we have to do? And how much could we get other people to do? I have a preschool program. I never get a tennis coach to teach it. We always get preschool teachers or mothers to teach it. Tennis coaches are a nightmare in preschool. You give them a group of 4-year-olds, they're like, God. Yeah? All right, so now somewhere along the line you have to start thinking about what different models you can employ. Other things. How much stuff do you do with teams? There is a few programs out there that you don't join lessons, you join a team. One of the things that's on Belonging, which was part of my team program, is every single kid who walked through the door, the most valuable thing I invested in was a T-shirt printing machine. $150 those machines are, you know, to put the name across the back of the shirt. So you walk through the door and you go, what name do you want on the back of your shirt? Okay? Don't just give them all those free T-shirts that are going to end up under the bed, or someone might turn them into a quilt one day or something, right? Instead, give them a T-shirt with their name across the back. They never take it off. Okay? So that was $150, and they'd be like, okay? And I'll put the kids in teams. So I wouldn't have Tuesday at 4, it would be lightning, or thunder, or just have everything was named after rain, because it's England. Alright? Other things you can do, like MultiSports is a good way of getting other kids involved. Mum, Dad and Me, yeah, especially for the little ones, that works really well. Okay, because don't forget, Mum, Dad and Me is really easy. If you've got someone who wants to do it, that's 16 kids with 16 parents, one coach. Okay, everyone, we're going to do this. Off they go with their own little personal assistant. There's a lot of income and progress. Girls only. I think, to be fair, we should have some boys only things as well that girls are banned from as well. We probably can't do that in America because of Title IX, but yeah, we won't go there. But you get the idea. Sometimes the girls want to be together and do other things. Going off-site and doing other things as well. But then you have your camps and courses, and you have your special selected groups, which I, as I said at the beginning, I never call talented. I call them, or performance, I call them the able and committed. The A and C group. I want kids who are able and committed. I want kids who are pretty good and want to be there. I'm not calling you performance, right? And I'm not calling you talented. Talented is Rafa, Roger, and the #1 player in the world. The British player, remember? Andy Murray, right? Okay, so, you know, that's kind of where I'm going with those kind of things. All right. So that would be my little mission. We won't have a discussion because we're a bit pressed for time, but what it is you believe about tennis. I'm not trying to change what you believe about tennis. I think you have to believe what you believe about tennis. And how is your program different from the program down the street? How are you looking at how you're teaching those things? What is it bringing? What are you trying to do? What's your mission statement for your program? And how does that relate to how you go about teaching it? What your instruction is about. Because if you tell me you're very technical, you've got to work out how your lesson structure is going to change. Yeah. I mean, there's some very simple things like, when do we normally play points in a lesson? At the end? What if I told you boys focus way better if you go drill, points, drill, points, drill, points, drill, points. If boys understand the competitive outlet for their drill, they practice way harder. Okay? Girls don't need that. Generally girls are good, feeling competent, increasing their confidence, and then playing the points as the crescendo of the whole thing. Right? All sorts of different parameters you could have in there in your instruction. All right, here's a big one, and this is intentionally #2. It's the social category, but I've just put the big, we can talk about social a lot, I just put the thing about belonging. Once you belong, you never, ever leave. There's probably somebody here that supports a team that never win. Obviously, it's not Ole Miss. Yes, but there's probably someone here, is there anyone here that supports a team that never win? Like a baseball team, like lower league, or like we used to go, because we're from North Carolina as well. So the Saints. Yeah, the Saints are pretty awful, aren't they, really? We were saying last night, because Bo supports the Saints, we were saying really they've got to embrace Mardi Gras a bit more. I want Saints to come out in Dayglow uniforms next season in lots of different colours. I think that might be the big talisman for them. Saints don't win very much. If you support the Saints, as far as I'm concerned, you're a true supporter. Not like a Patriots fan. Everybody hates Patriots, don't they? I had to change when I used to be a Patriots fan. I had to change when I decided dating my girlfriend. So now I'm a Steelers fan. Yeah. It took me a long time to learn to say black and gold instead of black and yellow, because I'm like, how the hell is that gold? The Saints wear gold. That's gold. Are you colourblind or what, woman? Right? But I get it now. But you're never going to change that, are you? You're never going to stop supporting that team, no matter who it is. Now, you, as the US, are the biggest team culture in the whole world. Nobody else has college sport, remember. I did a workshop in South Carolina once for 5 days, and the guy turned up with a Gamecocks shirt on every single day. For 5 days. He was 60. Right? So you have to understand how powerful that is and how we completely neglected tennis. It's massive, right? Think about like all the different things that can happen. Right? So for example, social media helps people belong. You can create little groups that send messages out that make you, so being part of a secret group is important. Yeah? Your coaching association, what you're doing here, is part of what you're belonging to. Yeah? My dad supports the Vikings, clearly there you can see. Right? But you know, passion within a team, within a uniform, like I just said about, you know, giving their shirt, put the name across the back. Yeah? Even these kinds, do you know what? We have this big discussion all the time is, should little kids get trophies in competitions for just participating? My answer is hell no, but give them something. Do you know what players collect? I work with a lot of the players as they retire. We do a course every year. They collect their accreditation. They've got all those lanyards with their accreditation from all the tournaments they played all around the world. So why not create some really cool things like that that are much more collectible for the kids? Do you know what this is? Come on. No, it's Joanna Conter. She's a British player that won the tournament this morning. Just added this to the slide. Come on, people, be a bit supportive here. Right? But you know, I was tweeting this morning, if you don't take the fact that, Joe, if you're not sharing that on your Facebook page, if you're not connecting with all the kids in your program, especially the girls, and telling a British woman just won a tournament, it doesn't happen very often. It's not like Sabrina, right? Sharing that, that's going to make you connect. The Olympics was massive for Great Britain. Did you see what, we actually stole something you do a lot. We called our team, it was Team GB, like your Team USA. Most other countries don't call their team something. They just say, Russia, right? So actually, that connection was massive. It actually changed the way people perceive sport in Britain. Because the only thing we used to like more than Tim Henman winning the semi-final was when Tim Henman lost the semi-final. We could then moan about it, because we're a very pessimistic culture. Like, yo, right? Anybody's kid ever get a baseball card after playing baseball? Who takes the card, the picture? The school photographer comes to the baseball club and takes pictures of every single kid. Who pays for that? The parents pay for that. Parents, grandma, Auntie Flo, you know. Probably grandma's Cocker Spaniel was running around with one tied to its collar at the end of the day, you know. Basically, the baseball club pays nothing.
Usually.
Yeah, they usually make money. I know a few tennis clubs that now do this. The tennis club, they pay the guy. So now you walk into the club, and your card, and this is what they do cleverly, which baseball clubs don't do a lot, they put your card on the wall in a big frame. So you walk into the club, and there's a picture of your card, the club colours around the outside, up on the wall. Are you leaving anytime soon, by any chance? No. You're hooked in your belongings. So we need to be able to look outside of what we're doing as well. Everybody understand what this is at the end? Great Britain only invented 2 amazing things ever, as far as I can tell. One is Hawkeye, and the other one is Harry Potter. Right? Does everyone know a bit about Harry Potter? It's a traditional British houses system. 4 houses, Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, and I don't know. But we just used to have 2. In fact, I was being sponsored by Head for quite a long time before a brief segue off to Prince. Right? So we had Fire and Instinct, because we sold a lot of those rackets. And basically you got a black shirt or a red shirt. Fire was obviously the red one, and Instinct was the black one. And we had the whole club was competing against each other. Everything you did, you got a ticket. And then we had this huge trophy, which looked like the Stanley Cup. No, ice hockey's not big down here. Right, which was called the Chubba Chup Cup. It was full of like candy lollipops. Right? And the ribbons on the handles. And basically every 12 weeks we would award the Chubba Chup Cup based on which team had won the most tickets. And you won tickets for turning up on time, playing outside lessons, extra tickets for playing tournaments. And what we also did was we would then draw out 50 tickets from each box and give away little prizes. So now there was a whole rule, which by the way we didn't pay for. Because these guys gave us little key rings and grips and, you know, candy bars from the shop down the street, whatever. Yeah, so simple things like that create huge amounts of belonging. Yeah. You, if you think about it, belong to a whole lot of things. Does anyone choose a particular airline to fly rather than another? Collect miles in. Yeah. Choose a car rental company or a hotel, or shop at a particular place. All of those things are about your attachment. There are rewards or loyalty or those kind of things. So you've got a whole lot of other things like that also make a big difference to feeling like whether you feel like you belong or not. Okay, so somewhere along the line you have to start thinking about not making a big deal about this, but maybe putting one or two of these things, because every other thing that the kid's doing and the parents are doing has these things in their program. This is part of gamification, by the way. This is part of what comes out of the computer games industry. They found out very early on that one of the key ways to motivate people is to get them to collect things. It's the same as Pokemon, it's the same as all of those things. They're all about collecting points, stars, rewards. Yeah? It modifies people's behaviors. And if you don't have an overriding system that sits over the top of all of your program, I'm just not saying you've got a bad program, I'm just saying you're missing a trick. You're missing a trick you could use, and it doesn't have to be complicated. We started that house system, by the way, with 4 houses. It was way too complicated. Cut it down to 2 very quickly within the first year. Oh, by the way, if we had 2 brothers, we always put them on different houses. So there's a bit of infighting when they got home as well. All right, so are there any other things? That's just a few things from me. Are there any other things that you think you could use that would make your kids feel like they belong a little bit more? Even things like, we used to take our kids every year on an exchange program, our older kids, either to Belgium or to Holland, which is like taking your kids to Alabama, basically, for us. Yeah? It's a 30-minute plane ride. Okay? Right? Belgium or Holland, and we used to have kids join the program just so they could go on those little trips, because now they got to connect, hang out with their friends for a week, do stuff like that. We think we're selling tennis lessons. No. Tennis lessons are the thing that we do to make kids get better. But actually, the kids are going to stay in the club if they genuinely belong to it. Change your way of thinking a little bit. All right, 2 minutes. We're getting closer to lunch, but we're not quite there yet. Come on, you can do this. Let's go. 2 minutes around the table. What other things have you got that you're connected to that motivate your behaviour that you could use in tennis? You might have to scratch your head. If you can't come up with any, go get some more coffee.
Yeah, I think I need to get one of those.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I guess now you just go online and look and see what shows there. But I'd like to see fairly decent t-shirt, you know, hot t-shirt. For what? Yeah. It's a lot cheaper. I didn't realize they were that cheap. I was thinking, yeah. Well, I'm sure there's
I know that last week was
yeah, I've done that.
No, I just like to do that. Go back and pick out what he said to me. This is the first time I've been yeah, well, the last where I started just like I am now. So this is fun stuff. That wasn't a program at all. I mean, that was zero. I mean, that was nothing. So we have 18 golf players. Now, one here is great. Ours is small. But anyway, it enabled me to get back to Mississippi. Put it back there. This is what I have a situation where the rain, cold now, and it is, got this in people started getting excitement, blah, 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 and just and we got close to really having a temperature. Here comes the water. I'm raining. What do you do? Cold weather.
And I'm out there.
The reality of these things is you're going to get all the slides, and then what you do with it afterwards is it's like you can sit down and go, okay, could we create a bit more connection and belonging to our program and our club, and a bit more of a. But remember, like, how you feel about all those things, because I can pretty much guarantee there isn't a person in this room that doesn't support a football team. We're in football land, aren't we? So somewhere along the line, you have to understand what these things do to you.
Something that can keep it.
Yeah.
All right. So a whole lot of other things that might work. Internal teams. I've already said that. Recognise new members. Just like someone joins a club, put their name up on the bulletin board when they walk in. Recognise achievements of other people. We sent press release about a guy who walked the Andes charity. It was like, we did it, such as a tennis club member, yeah, but he was over the moon because we pushed out things like that. Yeah. How you do regular communication and creating special little groups, using points, having social things, social's so big. Yeah. Using older players, we were talking over here about college tennis. I've always thought it's just so strange that college players can't go to your club and hit with your kids because it's all perceived the wrong way, and it's all NCAA things to stop them doing it. Because actually then they know not enough people come to our matches. But you don't, they're not allowed to go out and create an order, which is just crazy. But getting older players, high school kids are heroes if you're 6. That's the reality of it. Put them in a nice uniform, get them to be involved. And then, just having the kind of branding and the kind of merchandise. Who doesn't wear something that says what they're about, who they are? Yeah. And then, of course, there's other things. The other things that we have are all the kind of general social things that fit within this. So it's stuff like, do you deal with it, Sonny? You have to hold it up. I'll show the card again in a minute. Hold it up and you deal with it like that. Also, do your kids know exactly what they should do if another kid cheats in a tournament? Do they know, right, first of all I have to ask, then I can call the referee, then this is the procedure. Because that actually, then you should then say to the parent, if your kid follows this procedure, you should come off and go, I'm really proud of you because you had a difficult scenario, situation. Because most of the time parents don't know what to focus on. The easiest thing for parents to focus on is the result. Win or lose. And when the world's not fair, if parents don't know how to behave and what to do, yeah, then we have a bigger problem. Because the parent will blow it up out of proportion, like the lobster hug, you know? Okay, and when they cheat, when you don't recognize them, normally that's a self-reflective thing. Okay? Kids normally cheat for a reason. Okay? And then when the peacock circle, the last one is when the peacock circle is when everybody's an expert. You know in your club you have a peacock parent. Yeah? The biggest mouth that you've got in your club is like, look at my kid, he's so good. And we all know what basically a peacock is. It's a big fancy chicken that thinks he's better than all the other chickens. But if you pluck him and stuff him and stick him in the oven, he still comes out looking exactly the same. He's not really any better than anybody else. Right? But when you go to tournaments, there are a lot of peacocks. Your kid should go to this club. Why are you with that coach? Oh my God, he's terrible. This is the best coach, you should be here. The good news is if you did all number 1 through 2, 3, 4, 5, you're ahead of every other coach out there. You looked after the parents in all those scenarios and trained them what to deal with and did some presentations and just gave them some things. And by the way, the best time to do presentations for all these things is during a tournament, because that's the only time you can guarantee all the parents are going to be there. If you have a parent meeting, who turns up? All the parents you speak to anyway. All the ones you don't want, you never get to speak to and you really need to speak to, they don't turn up. So the best time is when you've got a captive audience, right, to make sure you do that. Okay, last thing, because I'm now over time, all right, and then I'll get shot, because you're by you probably. Right, practice. Let's just talk a little bit about practice. I said I'd define what that was a little bit before. For me, practice is going on a court and trying stuff out under no pressure. There's no coach watching you necessarily during lessons, right? But you're trying different stuff out. So some of it could be competitive, some of it could be cooperative. The ratio is the big thing that's different. So if you do a lesson, it's like one coach 6 kids or one coach 8 kids. This could be one coach 30 kids, one coach every kid. And you can send them out on court to do different things. Right? So for me, I do like, okay, my red kids come Friday night at 5 o'clock, red practice. And we'll do learning situations. So we're going to, all this stuff we're going to do this afternoon, the court warrior stuff, you can use in practice. So we can get through this quite quickly. All right? As I said, it's limited stress. It's actually lots of implicit learning. In other words, you create an environment. But this is kind of the one that I can't do with you this afternoon, but we use a lot. Right? So we have these cards. Now, there are 10 cards, and each card gives you a bonus. So, for example, you can have a neutralizer card, that one there, means on the next point I can take away your favourite shot. I can say you're not allowed to hit forehands on the next shot. Yeah? Or the superpower card is like, if I win the next point with my serve, I get 3 points instead of 1. Because I nominated my serve with my superpower. Or the replay card is, I don't like that point, we're going to replay it again. Yeah? Or the reverse card is, we're playing tie breaks, and any time I can reverse the tie break score around. Yeah? Up to 4 points. Once you've gone past 4, you're not allowed to do anything. Or then there's a secret card which the coach can nominate today, that means this. And basically what we do is, we do different games and things where you can earn the cards by doing drills and practice. So you might have worked on forehands cross court in a particular drill, but you'll earn cards that you can then use in your matches when it comes to practice. So we've got that collecting thing before, and we put that into practice. Right, so this is what we try and do. We'll do with the game this afternoon. We'll show you. We're trying to get kids to used to dealing with adversity, understanding what to focus on, doing all kinds of different things. Because you know what? If you run match play, and you run match play the same every week, it becomes that pizza again. Yeah. Eventually, your numbers start dropping off, or kids can't evaluate or grow on that. All right. So those are the 5 principles that we've kind of worked our way through. Yeah, we've looked at instruction, different ways to deliver your instruction. We've looked at how we create a better social belonging thing, simple little things you can do for that. We've looked at a little bit of competition. Yeah, we've looked a little bit around some of the things you can do with parents. To be honest, there's a whole other resource on that. We'll try and make that accessible to you. And then we've looked a little bit at practice and some of the things that we can do in practice. Every single one of your facilities is a little bit different, as we said before. So for each one of you, you have to find what works for you. Look at it like a menu. You might just pluck that idea, and that idea, and that idea, yeah? Don't go away and try and do too many things at once. With the things that we've talked about today, even if you wanted to implement 2 or 3 in each category, that's probably a year's worth of development in your program. Because people don't like change. And you have to just get people used to doing things a little bit different. Okay, so I've just stolen 2 hours of your life, basically. No one fell asleep or died, which is a great result. That doesn't always happen, right? But that's 2 hours wasted for you, because as I say, there's only one group of if you measure the commitment level between me and you out there, yours is way higher. I got paid to be here, all right? You didn't. Okay, you paid to be here, exactly the opposite. Right? So your commitment level is already way higher than mine. So if you genuinely want to not waste the last 2 hours, I'd like you to try just one thing that we've talked about today. Okay? So can you put your hand up now if you will try at least one thing? Just one little time thing. Right. You can only, right, if you can only bring your hand down. Hold on, I didn't say that. Right. If you genuinely mean it. Okay? So that means this thing. Next time I meet you, hopefully I will, because hopefully I'll get down in the south. Before today I thought North Carolina was the south. Right? Okay? If I meet you again, you'll tell me what thing you tried and how it went. And I'd love to know, I honestly would. Yeah? If you don't, then you'll still have your hand up in the air like that. Yeah. All right, enjoy your lunch. Thanks so much for your time. See you.